All right, I think it's going. All right, guys, I am pretty sure. Hmm, pretty sure. Just waiting for Facebook Live to come on. All right, I'm pretty sure that we are actually streaming on two platforms at the same time now in Facebook and also on YouTube. So, what I was going to say, I'm going to pull these as two separate windows here. And just to kind of set this up, I didn't plan on doing both platforms at once, but it's pretty cool to do that. And then, yeah, let me just grab my other window. And there we go. So I'm going to flip back and forth between this and an image as well. But I'm here in plasticity. And we're going to make, oh, come on, window. We're going to make a creepy tricycle. And just because. That I'm going to use it probably, I'm building it because I will use it probably in an animation. I'll probably definitely be selling it out of one of my stores. So figured it might be kind of a neat thing to do. I have a chat going, so feel free to comment and do all that. If you're on my YouTube, please like and subscribe and all the fun stuff like that too. And let's get started. All right, here we are in Plasticity 3D. I'm going to move my tools around here. And yeah, first thing we need to make for a tricycle is going to be, I would say, the front wheel. So I'm just going to start from the side here. And I would imagine, I'm trying to think, one. So how many inches? Probably about 12 or so inches. So 12 times 25 is an amount. So let's go ahead and pull this up and say 25 times 10 to 5,500. Let's just go with about 600. And that'll probably be okay. So we're going to make a circle. This will be the actual tire, or at least the outside line of the tire. I'm going to make this a little bit, maybe a little thinner, thicker like that. And then we're going to wind up rounding our tire around this shape. And it is possible, I'm wondering, there's 50 different ways to go about doing this. Because we want a round shape, there's, like I said, a couple different ways. I could take a half circle and wrap it around this, which is probably what I want to do. So I'm going to come up to this line a bit closer. I'm going to take a circle and I'm going to just drag this down to where the center is somewhere here. I'm going to look at the side again, figure out exactly what our thickness will probably be. Now I want this in the center, kind of like between these two lines. Now I probably should have done this differently by doing a 2-point circle. Probably it's just a 2-point. We're going to start at the top and come down and snap to the bottom, and there we go. That's how you do that. Okay, so what I want to do next is use this, maybe even both, but definitely the top one as what they call a sweep. So I'm just going to grab my sweep here. The face is going to be this guy. So let me just start this over. The region or face, that is the spine. Okay, so what we want to do, I'm going to just unclick all of this. Select region or face. This is the one we're going to sweep. The spine now is going to be, come on, let go. Is going to be, you jerk. All right, so we're going to do sweep. And then I'm going to select the spine, which should be, let's do this guy. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now that's going to leave us the perfect circle. The guides we aren't going to need. So I'm just going to say, okay, let's get rid of our circles. And then what I want to do is come in and I'm going to shave off part of that tire. And you know what? I don't want to do this just yet. I just realized something. If we're going to have this flatter, we should probably make that longer. But also I need some type of indentation that is like the actual shape. Because tires aren't round like a hose. So let's go ahead and probably make a little, just a little line that comes from about here. We're going to go like this, you know, something kind of like that. And then I can adjust all those points, no problem. Probably knock this back out just a little better. It's a little much, right? And then I'm going to bring another straight line here. We don't have to worry about the inside, so I'm not going to bother with that. And now I'm going to take the curves from this. I'm going to go ahead and mirror those over to the other side. And now take those. And you know what we're going to trim first? So let's just trim this bit. This looks like I'm going to make a logo with a skull or something, huh? And now let's take the curves, which will be this one and these. We're going to join these all together just for safety reasons so they don't have a problem. And now we're going to take that piece. Hopefully it'll look right. I could even stretch that out slightly. But let's go ahead and take that from the outside bit. We could probably get rid of our inside circle altogether, I think. But we're going to take this guy and we're going to, I don't remember what the shortcut is, but we're going to take this and sweep. And we're going to go around this. We're going to say, okay, now we've got that, you know, kind of classic tire shape that we were sort of there and we sort of weren't. So there we go. I mean, if we wanted to, you could always hollow this or take out these faces or whatever you want. Not necessary here. And also just to kind of fix this up, I'm going to take it and delete any redundant topology so we don't have any extra lines that we don't need either. All right, so let's go ahead while we're here and just sort of round out a couple of edges just to make it a bit nicer. Not too much though, because those still need a bit of, you know, a little bit of sharpness to them. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm going to take the whole thing, move it up because I can't stand looking through the floor there. So we'll just grab that and pull it up. Something like this. And if you really want to center this on the floor, if I hit V, I can snap this to the bottom and then bring it down and snap it to the floor. And we're perfectly centered there. Got to decide which way I'm going to face. I think I'm going to face it to the left. And I think right now I'm just going to do this to center the entire tricycle in view. And now I need to make the little rim here. So with another circle, we're just going to use a center circle. And I'm just going to pull out to about there, just inside of that little wall there. Now, I'm not going to pull it all the way across. I guess I could, but in this way, though, we can make a cross section if we wanted to, which is probably what I should have done now that I think about it. Nah, let's do what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the tire. We're going to look from the front. I am going to go ahead and duplicate it to the other side like so. So now we have this. Now, if I wanted to, I could just make a revolving cut around this. That is a possibility. Or, once again, he's thinking. Don't let him think too long. Let's do that. Let's just take this guy, get rid of that circle we just created. There's 100 ways to do this. Is the confusing part, or the part that's for me the most difficult, is that deciding which method I'm going to use. I'm just going to pull that out for now like that. And then I'm going to make a cut. Let's turn our tire back on, see if we can see through it with the X-ray mode. Here. There you go. Yeah, it's not going to let me really see through it, but I'm wanting to make a kind of a cut in it that goes from one side to the other. But let's go ahead. I think it's perfectly fine there. Let's just turn it back off real quick now. And from here, we're going to start right about there. Somewhere like this. Excuse me. And I'm going to bring this down and about to here and somewhere across like this. It doesn't matter 1000% if that's curved or not, because we can always go in with our points here and straighten that out on both sides of it. And if you don't get enough resolution here, you can always come in here and split these at another point. And then that way, when we go back into our point mode, we should have, it doesn't work that way, another line that I can grab here and just kind of adjust these around now. I mean, it does work that way. It's just that it didn't work as well as I expect or wanted to, or it works better than I expected, something like that. So I expect a lot in a thing like this. Okay, so with that, I'm still asleep. I am just going to pull this down to there. Put this one up a little bit more, just kind of pull out some of that slack. Okay, now we're going to take that curve, real simply, revolve it around this guy again. So we just grab the curve, and I think we can use one of these curves to revolve it. So I'm just going to go here. We're going to say revolve instead of sweep, revolve. And we're going to figure out, what's the best area or the best axis to revolve this on. And it's looking like it's going to be that one. So there we go. And what we're going to do now is use that to cut our rim object, which is this one. So I'm just going to take this guy, and we're going to say C, grab this dude. Oh, I'm sorry, not cut, Boolean. So I got to take the guy we want to keep. Did this already work? Let's find out. It did. Okay, cool. So now what we want to do is take this, which is pretty thin. And actually, that isn't what we want to keep. My bad. I want to use that face that we just made, this revolved shape. We're going to use that as a cutter. So now we're going to take the main. We're going to go Q. We're going to take that cutter, and we're going to say, OK. That's going to remove stuff we don't want. And now we're going to remove that cutter, and now we're left with the shape we're looking for mostly, in my opinion. Let's turn on, let me just double check this because I think I kept the wrong part. We wanted to cut that around that. No, I think that is right. So let me just double check. We're turning our wheel back on. It's easy to get confused, especially for me. Yeah, that is the right part. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do now is just come in here and round this little corner here. You don't want any kids getting their hands cut unless they're the creepy kids we're making this one for. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and round this one out quite a bit because that's actually the rim part. And then I'm going to take that rim and we're going to Alt-X that one left to right so that it now, and I don't think that's working because I think we are over the line here. Let me double check. Let me see if that's there. That is there. All should be well. Cool. And now I'm going to take those two pieces and put them together as one. and then delete the curve, delete any redundant topology. It doesn't have to be this difficult doing this stuff. I'm just dragging it out because I'm thinking about, tutorials and live streams and stuff. Cool. All right. So yeah, if we got anybody watching, say hello. I definitely have the ye old comments up in case. So it's always good to see who's watching or how many or whatever. Man, we got a lot going on today. All right. So back over here. Just going to check the stats on both. If you are watching, just say hello. So now we're going to go and delete our redundant topology, and everything looks nice and pretty. So this is the main front wheel. So it needs like a hub in the front. I got a little reference image here that I'm trying to look at here. It's not being kind to me. There we go. All right, I'm just going to move back and look at this other little image. Okay, the hub is pretty tiny. So what I'm going to do with that is make a circle right in the middle. I love that it leaves up your center point like forever. Something about maybe like that. Sure. And we're going to center that from the side here. I'm just going to grab it, Control Shift till it snaps. So if it not, I have to go over here, which it works the same way. And I'm probably, because this is going to be a thin part. Now that I think about it, I'm probably going to take it and just pull this out slightly like so. And I'm going to have to move that out to the width of wherever this was going to wind up going. And it could probably be a little bit out here because we're going to have the spokes coming back in. Something like that, probably. We're going to make it. I'm going to put, how many spokes? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6 on this side. So it's a really cool, easy way to do this. First of all, though, let's make the little, the spindle area that goes across. At least we're going to leave that there. But I'm going to make a little line here that tells me where my center essentially is. Let's undo that because the center of the circle will be the best way to find that out. So right here, going straight down, we're going to go from here, go up. So now I know essentially where that is. And I am going to create a tiny hole where our spoke will be coming out of. So approximately the size, maybe a little bit bigger than the actual spoke. Something that might be too small. Something about that size. I accidentally right-clicked. It happens all the time. Something maybe, come on now, maybe like that. A little bigger, than your actual spoke. Okay, cool. And now, since we're going to do 6, I just use a radial array. Pop those in there like that. And I think we should just do 6 and not 8. And you'll see why if I'm not completely incorrect. Okay, so with that, we're going to need to make a spoke now. And the spoke will be fun. We need to make an end of the spoke as well here. That's going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to use this this guy like so. We'll make it, it doesn't matter what direction it's in. But what I'm going to do is snap it down here and get it sized to fit the spoke that we're eventually going to make. So that'll hit there. We can scale this now. And it will be a little bit bigger than the spoke. Something maybe like that. And we're not making the spoke. Well, we are, but not in this position. But I'm going to take this piece and just kind of stick it up here for the moment. That might even be too big, but we'll find out. And then once it's moved, I can grab it, pull this out, and just make a the little end piece that the spoke goes into. We'll get rid of that polygon that's at the end of it so it's not distracting. And then I'm going to take a circle. That's basically going to be the size of our spoke. I'm just going to, eyeball it. And we're going to take this. It doesn't matter if it goes all the way through. So I'm going to just do this, push it all the way through. We have that, get rid of the circle. And then I'm going to kind of take all my edges here and we're going to fillet all of those down. We could have chamfered them, I guess. Maybe like a little bit like this, just to take the edge, quote unquote, off for real. That's literal. And now I got to figure out, the size of my actual spoke, which will be easy because now we have this circle we've just made. So I'm just going to come up here. Could have went to the bottom too. And I'm just going to make a circle. And then this one we can now extrude out. We're not going to do it fully yet, because I just want to grab a piece of it. That works. I'm going to grab the other side of it now and do the same thing. Get rid of that circle though. Grab the other side of this and pull it out through here just to make sure we have this. And now I'm going to take both of these. Whoops. It undid it because I did not agree. So we're going to pull that just like that. We agree twice. I'm going to go back to our solid objects. And now I got to figure out the rotation on this and where it lines up to around this hole here. So let's go ahead, grab this line. Just going to get rid of it. And we're going to go, I'm going to make one line. This is going to be the line that we're basing a lot of stuff on. I'm going to get rid of this main circle for now. Turn on our x-ray so we can see our stuff. And we're going to go from the center. Well, actually, we're going to create a straight line from that center point by going to the side view. And for whatever reason, it's not snapping. But, straight enough. That's fine. There was a little bit of degree there I could have probably gotten in and gotten rid of, but it's okay because it's just an eyeball guide. And now I'm going to go from here to wherever this is supposed to meet at the top. I'm going to hide the actual tire object and try to keep this one for the moment. It's less stuff to have to look through. It should provide me with a decent view of where at least this needs to hit. And I'm going to come out just a little bit here because of the thickness that this spoke is going to be. So about maybe here. And I don't know if this is right, but we'll find out. And I'm going to go up until we get to the center line there. So there's our line. That should be our, essentially, our spoke. I probably need to move out that bottom point just a little bit now that I'm looking at that. So I'm just going to grab that and see if that's the right one, which it is, because we want that thickness not to bump up there. Also, we are going to round over that plate a little. We could do that right now just to make everyone happy, because I know y'all are complaining about that probably. Just kidding. Another thing I forgot to do is we need to drill these holes. So I'm just going to grab all these. And I am going to select W, hit this, and push those through. Done. We can now get rid of the others. This one is going to be our cap or our hub. It's going to be about like this. It's going to be pretty flat. And I'm going to smooth the edges of that one out a bit like so the kids don't hurt themselves on it. You know how these things have to be. I'm going to get rid of the main circle, but I'm going to go, the main circle, not the main part. And I'm going to go in here and chamfer this edge back to kind of give a nice little separation there. We'll see if we see it or not. So I can go ahead and take these circles off, leaving the lines. And I think I can trim this part of this line. Good to go. And this is going to be cool now. We can take the point of this, whoops, we don't want to trim that. The point of this one and pull it over all the way through here for now. I will worry about the length of that or here in a bit, but we're going to take this point and I'm going to round that out by hitting B or fillet. And we're not going to be able to because we have to join the curves together, just realized. So this one and this one, and we're going to hit J, becomes one curve. And now we can go B. We need to select the point though. So we hit that point, B. Now we can smooth it out how we want. It's going to be about like that. Cool. And this is going to be kind of cool because what I'm going to do is select this whole thing like we got it. I'm going to hit P, and now we've got a spoke. I'm just going to thicken it up until we get the size we want. About like, maybe like this. Kind of trying to figure out what works best. Might be a little skinny. Easy enough. We just grab the surfaces. Probably only have to grab one now that I think about it. No, we have to grab all three. Let's just undo that and go through turn off our x-ray. Sometimes it gets in the way. And then I'm going to fatten that up just a bit. That's a little much. So something like the corner, the bend is kind of fighting me given the angle that it's on. That's okay. This is easy enough to fix. I do want those thicker though. So before I pipe this, let me figure out what's going on with it. There shouldn't be, and I know it's got to do with this bend right here. I'm just surprised it's having any issue. So let's just do that again, and we'll turn up the vertex count. That's going to be part of the problem. So we're going to turn up our vertex count. The section size is our basic thickness. You see there's something happening right here. So we need to make sure that everything is angle and twist we don't need to worry about. I'm wondering if I just delete some of this redundant topology real quick. Because I'm wondering, yeah, I'm not liking what I did there. I'm just wondering, how to bend this nicer. You know what I mean? It should be good as we have it, but I don't know. I don't know at this point. Let's just bevel this again. That's a pretty nice bevel. I'm going to make it bigger and then just move the thing down once we've made it, because that's probably what it is. Just too much of a pinch. So I'm going to bring this out a bit bigger, see how far we can get away. And that is what will do it right there. I knew it. Okay. So now with that, we'll just move our central wheel hub bit just over a little bit. Just going to grab it and pull it that way so it doesn't intersect. I think all is well there. Cool. All right. So as difficult as I made that, this is probably going to have to change now. This one's going to have to be resized. So we're just going to rotate this. We got to look at it from the end. We're going to hide our wheel here. Rotate this to match the angle. Something like that. And if I have to, I can redo that, no problem, which we definitely do. Rotate till I get a good, better angle. Then we can see the shape here obviously is not great. So with a little bit of love, we can work it out, and we'll scale this a bit like so. And then I'll make this longer, the end. Let's see if it keeps the, yeah, it doesn't. So let me grab both. Still doesn't. Weird. So we'll grab this area. It's finicky about, what faces you include and don't. And there is a way to select these faster, but hey, it's meditative. Some crap like that. And just grab this one, and not that one, but this one, and this one. Let's see if we can pull those up. Yeah, that's fine. We're never going to see the edge of that anyway. And I think for the most part, that is correct. We will find out if we need to extend this other side down at all. We turn on the other pieces, and that will reveal all. Overall, not bad. I kind of want those a little bit bigger, but I think it's fine. So now I'm going to take these guys. This is where it speeds up. Don't worry, folks. I'm going to take both of these like this. And I don't know why we're reversed. Oh, we're looking at the other side. That's why. We're going to take these guys like so. And I'm going to do the radial array on those pieces right here for the same exact settings. Good to go. And with those selected, we are going to Alt-X. We're going to mirror those over from here to the other side of the wheel, but we're not going to so I'm going to make sure we only got the ones in the back side. There we go. That should be, nope, wrong. So I'm just going to grab the stuff from the back side here. It's going to take a second. Like I said, if I knew which ones were coming from where, it'd be a lot easier. But I think these are, let's see. I think I'm getting just the back side, so that's good. I believe that is all of it. Cool, I believe so. So now what we're going to do is just rotate this some degrees to be right in between the others. So this is going to be like a 45-ish rotation. And for some reason, we're not on an exact center, which is very odd. Do we not have ends to everyone? Maybe we didn't have this end. We didn't. So that's why it's not balanced in the turning of it. So it looks like we got them all now. Okay, so now when we turn it, it should rotate perfectly from the center. And this should be like a 45, I guess. Something, maybe it's a 30. I'll try one more time because I let go of it and it doesn't keep its, yeah, that's going to be a 30-degree angle there. Right click. And so now we have this more of the spiderwebby kind of look that spokes do. We'll see if it's enough spokes. If not, I can go back and fix that too. I'd rather not have to. If you have to, Okay, and then there we go. We have both sides now. That's a song. And then I think I'm going to make the central hub that, the bike attaches to. So this is going to go from the end. And we could probably go from this face here. If you didn't know, we're going to go from this face and just pull that all the way through, but I guess it doesn't want to do that. So what I am going to do is duplicate that curve, or duplicate that face, and then extrude that face through everything. But we're going to make a new body out of it, like that. And then I can, of course, take this plate, this one, and we'll just make those the same object, and everyone's happy, sort of. We do have this wrong, though. So now let me undo that, because these holes do not line up with these spokes. So that's easily fixed, I should say. And I just roll this out until they are. Like that. Right click and done. Okay, perfect. If we wanted to chamfer those ends, we could. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to grab, for now, all the spokes and ends. These can all be the same piece. So I'm going to grab the rim. This just saves tons on processing and organization later if we take this into, iClone or Blender or Maya or whatever we're going to take it into. Unreal. That would be Unreal. And then we can make this one object. A lot of traffic outside today. There we go. And I'm just going to Boolean those all together if it will let me, and right click, and we're good. So that is now one. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the same with these guys and this one now. So that hub, I'm going to leave it separate because these are not truly the same object as this middle portion. So let's see if that's all one, which it is. Simple, guys, simple. Now the tread on the tire, I'm going to do that as a texture. So I'm not going to worry about any of that. If you're watching, say hello. It's always good to know. Yo. And now we need to look at our little tractor and decide what's happening. Pretty sure it's a standard setup, so pretty easy. Yeah, they just have the little things at the ends, and it looks like there's a little thing for the fender. Cool. So from this side, I'm going to make the bar and stuff that goes over the top here. I think actually from the front. So I'm going to make some curves first that tell me what's going to be happening with it. I'm going to see if I can do this in a lofting way, which would be awesome. So I'm just going to go from about, I need to leave space for the little fender cover thing. And like so. Maybe, yeah, because that fits pretty tightly on there, I guess. Do something like this, and then they'll bring this. I've got to change these points, they drive me nuts. So it's going to be like that. And then we're going to bring that straight down to Chinatown, or whatever town you live in. Turkey Town, Albuquerque, Turkey Town. And I think that's going to be okay for that. I'm not going to do this horribly difficultly, I don't think. So I think what I'm going to do is take that curve of the top piece, undo that, whoops, redo that. And I'm going to take this curve, I'm just going to duplicate it and move it up somewhere along those lines. And then, of course, change its points to be more correct. Maybe something like that. And then we'll add a line from here to about here. And then get rid of that last point. It won't let me do that. So I'm going to find that point and move it because what a pain. Grab this point. Just snap that where it is supposed to go. There. And we should, if I did everything right, which I did not. Where's that little line? Mary had a little line. She probably sniffed it. That was weird. Okay, now that is correct. That is, oh, we don't have a line up there. So I'm just going to close this off with this. And we should be good to go once I select the curves. Join them up, I hope. There we go. All right, so I'm going to grab all the curves. It's a little annoying, I know. I apologize. Join, grab. We're going to pull these guys pretty much close to center here, like that. Now let's pull them out because I'm going to chop this. I'm going to make this in a very kind of standard way, I guess. So let me just look from the side one more time. I'm just going to put these in the center. I change my mind a lot on this kind of stuff. Cool. And then now, I wonder if I should try to loft those. I mean, it doesn't matter. This does the same thing. All right, so we're going to grab the middle here. I'm going to start pulling over. I'm going to hit tab so it goes both directions at the same time. Get the top as wide as I want that to be and be done. Move our lines out the way. And then I'm going to make a cut. That goes from about here to, I guess, like so. Maybe a little tighter than that. So about from here, there. And yeah, might as well just mirror the cut over. Freehand set it. And then now I can take this object, cut it with these two. I'm going to be making some music later today if you guys are interested. Stick around, let me know what you think. All right, so that is this part to start with. Might be a little thin in my opinion, it is. So I'm going to pull this out. Maybe both of those. So undo. Pull both of these forward. Don't know that I wanted to do that. Business. So I think what I might do is just pull this one inner. That doesn't work. Come on now. So that looks a bit thin to support something. So maybe we can go just a little more this way. I will worry about this shortly. Yeah, that's kind of still working. I'll just, what do you call it, this? To smooth that out and just make sure we're not too far. There we go. Right click, done. And then round everything. But before we do, I'm going to put a couple of rings here. So we have to stick one here, like probably that. And I'm going to stick another one right inside of that one to make it a bit stronger, something like this. And then we can take that surface here, or let's take the curves for now. Let me make sure they're locked to one side of this. Just going to grab, move here. Oh, Lord. And I'm going to snap this forward So we'll have this situation. Get rid of our curves again. And then I'm going to put a little kind of ridge around this. So it just makes sense to do so. So like this. Go one here. And probably don't even need to do two, but I'll do this again. Close enough, and I'll pull this out to about there. Let me see how that's working. That is what I want. So I'm going to pull this surface up now, like that. And then we can take our little nub from this side, if I can find it. That's the one, I believe. Yep. We can grab that, and we can pull that to the surface of this. Let me just re-grab it from the edge. Snap that to match like that. All right, that is good. And now we need to continue this. I'm just going to pull that into here. And then I need to probably put some kind of like sockety kind of, washer or sleeve, collet kind of thing here. And that's going to be really easy because all I need to do is insert an isoparam, Control R here, but we're going to tab and select it the other way. And then I'm just going to say U right there, grab the face, pull this slightly out. And now we've got that little sleeve. And I'm going to come in here now and just knock down some of those. I am also going to make this piece a little thicker because this edge is going to cause some crazy problems if I don't do this more like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the back side of this. And that looks like I already wasn't able to accept the front side one, so I'm going to try it again. And it's probably because I clicked away from it before I accepted it, like that. Cool. So now we can take this piece and put those together. And this piece and this piece, which looks like it's all one, which we don't want, but that's okay. We'll do this one instead. We'll put those together, and then we can fill it and round stuff off as much as we need, like here and here first. Just enough to give it a little softer edge. It's, for one, it's how you would have it for kids, but secondly, it just looks nicer when the light hits it. And we're going to go, let's do these big ones first because I don't like that hard edge there. So we're just going to round this outward. And I want to round this edge a bit too, like this. It looks a little more molded. And then we can take this one. Turn off the X-ray, it's driving me nuts. This one, maybe all four. It's going to probably have a problem right here, but we'll see. And nope, it's working just fine. Let me see how far I can push this because I would like to get this super rounded if we can. It's about right to there. Looks like the limit. That's fine. Looks good to me. And then I can take that. We can mirror it over. So I'm going to grab this dude, Alt X, to flip it over in the across the X axis. We have two sides. It's not perfect because we got that weird dip there, but that was because of my lines. I'm going to go ahead and accept it though. And then we can smooth some of this out for what we're going to do next. So I'm going to grab these two and just try to get those flatter. They'll never be perfectly flat. We can accept this. And now we just need to make the little part at the top that's going to accept like the pipe that goes up into the other part. bike. So, and we also need to make a little fender here. And that should be pretty easy. Let's just do it. It's going to kind of come down and make a circle. It's going to go up basically to fit right under. Let me just undo this so I can see. It's got to fit right up under this edge here. That should be the one we can see. So I'm just going to go like this, snap it to, or at least go up to that one. And that looks right. And I'm going to look from the front and move this over. I'm trying to decide if I'm doing this to the center. I think I am. And then, okay, I think that works momentarily. Figuring out the best way to do this is the hardest part. So it's real simple. I mean, if you've done any car modeling, which, believe it or not, I have not. I don't make cars. I should. There's a big market for them. So I'm gonna, whoops, didn't mean to undo that. I just meant to make another line. So we'll go from about here to here to here. Out there. And then I can take a straight, no, another curved line. Come on, Sean, you got this. And go, let me just zoom in so I can be a little more precise. You know what? Instead, we can make us another curve, another circle. And this would be a perfect curve. Imagine that. And just snap it right to the end of this. And trim out any extra bits we don't want. Like, hopefully they're all on the same plane, because that makes this so much easier. And they must not be, no, they are not. So we're going to grab this circle one now. Not delete it, but we're going to grab it. Snap it to this other one, where it's on the same plane as those guys. I'm going to need to make another half of that going the other way. Just look from this side. And I'm going to hide the wheel. We need to make our rim solid as well. So let's hide the main tire, which I really need to start labeling these. And I'm going to take this here, Alt X that over using the freehand placement here. We'll get this snapped in. Now that probably should be way lower down here now that I think about it. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to rotate it actually, but I'm going to rotate it from this point. And then we're going to get this to come down, yeah, about right there. And then I think we should be able to come in here, get rid of our extra lines. Now that is just the flat if we did it that way. I'm thinking if I make a curve this way, I should be able to follow that curve back, and we'll see. So what I'm going to do is grab this dude from the front. I'm going to move it over until we are just inside of this piece here. I don't know how well this is going to curve, and this might have needed to be from the top, now that I think about it. So let's look from the top, I guess. I'm just going to grab this and rotate it, use this point to rotate it from. We're going to go 90, I guess. I'm just taking some guesses. And I want to drop down this point until it hits that one. This is my guess. And this guy, I think, is going to wind up doing some of this anyway. Like that. And then we just need to do kind of the same thing here. I'm going to turn this on 90 as well because I don't want that to be wonky in comparison to the other. So we rotate and we do it from this point here. Go 90. Yeah, and then we can rotate that 90 again. Man, Ozzy was looking cool at halftime show recently. I'm amazed he's still kicking and doing everything. It's pretty awesome. All right, so these, what we got going on here? So that one is fine. It's this where things are weird. So I don't know why we've got two of these, but I'm going to delete this. Oops, not that. I'm going to do that though, like that. Okay. So now from the top, looked like we had a duplicate. I'm going to rotate this again from that point to where it somewhat lines up. This, grabbing the points now. Yes, trust me, it is as convoluted as it seems. Like that. From the side, probably definitely in and up. A little bit of in here probably. Let me just see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so around the corners after the fact, maybe. I mean, granted, these aren't all that super rounded anyway, but I'm going to see if I can get these all linked now. And I did. Gosh, yeah, I love it when it does that. I don't know if it's going to curve properly in the middle without guide curves. And you know what? I shouldn't have put those together because those are going to be my guide curves. So from the front here, or from here, I can make a line just to act as a guide curve. And then I can go back here and adjust it. Let's hide our little handlebar thingy. But I can adjust the points of this now. This one. Until they go where they are supposed to. And that one needs to snap right to this curve. And then we go to our line and select it. We can come back to here and hopefully in this view, why can't we select the points of this one? He wondered to himself, like this, because is that not, I think that's just standard line. Great. So we'll take the spline curve now, go from here to here. We will accept that, and hopefully it's not just a line, which I think it is because we didn't have any points or bend to it. Okay, so we'll just go from here, here, and then here. Now we do, and I can cheat that way. Not that I'm a cheater. All right, and then we'll go grab these points. I just want to grab them. Pull those up to this way. The most difficult, follow along, easy object I've ever made. Okay, let's just see what that looks like now. Now we need to do it from this angle because they have stretched back. This is kind of typical though. because I didn't tell it in which all 3 dimensions to not be stupid. Okay, so this is probably okay. I'm gonna get this top point here though, and I'm gonna move it and snap it back this way. Get these and kind of straighten those out. I want the flow. Once these are made into polygons, I would really like this to flow much nicer. So, and then we can just kind of round out some of this. See what it looks like overall. So now let's see if we can do this. So I'm just going to take the curves, top and bottom curve. We're going to loft it, which it does. And then we're going to tell it what the guide curves are. And this is where it could go horribly wrong. So guide curve 1 looks beautiful. Guide curve 2 and guide curve 3. And we have a perfect fender. That is beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and remove our circles here. And so this bit, this face sheet is this thing here, which was an extra. So I'm going to delete that one. It's not needed. But this is our, This is our fender. Before we do anything, I'm going to see if I can duplicate this fender piece over and then make it thicker. So first things first, let's just Alt-X that sucker, get it over there. We're going to join the halves into one. And then I'm going to delete any redundant topology just to make things nice and clean. And with selecting it, I'm going to now thicken it by about, I don't know, millimeter or something. Whatever it says looks good. So let's just pull this down. And right now it's only selecting half. Not sure. I guess it didn't union those together yet. So let's grab both. Click J to join, which that did do. If we wanted to now, we could remove a redundant topology if it had any. And now we need to go to thicken. I forgot that I have to join them. They work like curves. Thicken, and now we're going to see how thick, that we want our fender. I wonder how thick my Python likes it. All right, so that's pretty good. I think that's a little too thick. There we go. Right click on the thick. Looks good to me. And now I'm going to try and round off these sharper corners slightly by just grabbing these. I wonder if we can do all of those. Nope. So I'm going to grab that one. And that is because they're not joined yet. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the objects first. Oh, they are. Imagine that. Okay, no problem. Could smooth these lines as well. That one and this one. And grab those, and it will not let me do those at the same time, if at all. So we're going to try it this way now. And there's this one. It's a little bit ugly, but it does work. No, it doesn't. We'll try it again. There we go. And now this one, see if that one works. And that works. So let's see now if we can get rid of any redundancy or anything. It's always a good plan to check in case you can. Okay, now we're going to try and get rid of, or to smooth out these little corners here. I'm going to grab the front two first. I could try and grab all 4 of them, but it's probably going to be more of an issue than it's worth. So I'm just going to round those off for the, to keep your kids' knees and stuff safe. And then, and I can't tell you how many times I kicked these blades of death. And then like so, and right click. Beautiful. All right. So now I am going to turn on our other parts. Have a look. There is our wheel and our little wheel holder steering thingy. Don't know what it's called. I'm sure there's a real name. And now we need to have these little bars, the little flat bars that come from the center out here that hold that fender on. And those are just going to be a couple real thin, tiny guys. Real simple stuff. Again, it's all real simple, honestly. In the end, it's just a bunch of simple procedures. I think, though, that our tire or something is definitely off. off center. So let's just kind of get a look, trying to figure out what is off center here. There's definitely something, one part of this. I cannot tell which. I'm going to hide the tire first. And I think all of that looks pretty good. So I think it's the tire. I think it's the tire that's off. Just making sure everything looks the same left to right. As far as I can tell. So the tire now, I'm going to hide everything else. And we're going to unhide the tire. That is the tire. Yeah, the tire is off center. So we're going to grab the tire, grab its center, and center it back. Most people can't see that difference, and, well, it takes a well-trained eye. I think that looks okay. Just trying to figure out on that wheel exactly where these, okay, they attach on the outside of this, which is real trashy and junky. Cool. It's easy too to do, which I'm happy about. All right, so with that, let us go on and make a little bit that goes from here to here. So I'm just going to create a rectangle just from, and why don't we make a line that says where the center of this is. That way we can follow it. And I can make a rectangle that goes from, somewhere here to here. Like that. And then a half circle at the end. All right, so then I'm going to get rid of some of the internal lines. You don't have to do this. I just like to do it because it's cleaner. And that circle is not the same size. That's weird of me to do. So let me get rid of that and do it again. Okay, cool. Now we can trim out any of the center bits like this and this. I can probably even get rid of this because this is all centered anyway. And from the side, I'm just going to take this and make it thicker. Give it some thickness. If you're down with the thickness, Mike Tyson is, he's down with the thickness. And get rid of these. So now I can attach this. And I think those are attached underneath. And this one looks like it's on the outside. But I'm going to do mine underneath because I want my trashy kids, creepy kids, I mean, to be stylish. Yeah. So I'm just going to now move this in. We can pivot from this part. From the top now, how much we got to go? A little bit. So we can pivot from where it attaches to the wheel. So rotate V to say, do it from here. And then from the top, I can rotate this underneath, get a look at it a little better, maybe, like real sensitive in the position that this thing is in. So about there, maybe. No, it needs to come out a little farther. This is going to be hell. Can I hold shift and do it easier? Nope. Alt and do it easier? Nope. That snaps it. Nope. There's no slowing it down. So this is about 2271. This is about right where it goes. Whew, okay. That works for me. I'm going to need to shorten it though so it doesn't seemingly drag on that back tire or something. And maybe we will put this on the outside. I don't know. I think it's all right the way it is personally. No one's going to see or know. We'll just leave it. And I'm going to actually go in here now and just doctor these edges a little bit. This front side could probably even come forward a little. So I'm going to grab the whole thing and just sort of give it a little nudge like that. It's not going to hurt anybody, and it looks better on both ends. And that's what she said. Okay, let's just go ahead and grab the edges. Kind of chamfer that in slightly, like maybe at a like there, 0.76, less than a millimeter. And with that, we're going to wind up putting a bolt here, and we're going to make 2 of them. So let's do that first. I'm just going to, and you know what? Let's make it have the same middle section. So I'm not going to worry about all that business. In fact, let's get rid of that end piece. Watch this. We're just going to take this, I think, cut right through there. That way, I'm going to go boom, cut, use this, get rid of this. All that work for nothing. I'm just kidding. And now we're going to make another one exactly the same. This, and we're going to rotate it from here so it goes where we want it. Up here, obviously not at the right angle. Let me go around the side and just see where that's hitting this way. It's pretty close. So with that, let's just see if we can get, that is at 7. What is this? That is at 6. Let's go 6.5 for a good middle range area. Good enough. Works for me. Okay. Obviously, that's not working there, so we'll grab the whole thing. Actually, I'm gonna rotate it from that end, so easily done. So rotate we're gonna do it from here and just kind of lay this back on there. We need to go a little less, so let's go with maybe just the 1. Does that work better? Yep, exactly. Okay, so cool. And then I'm going to take these pieces, if they're not too strangely twisted, and just pull these down to where they're long enough to cross over each other. This one next. And there's a lot of yelling outside today. Like so. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm just going to pull this one over to about here and accept it here. Cool. And I'm going to cut that off. Now, this is not perfect modeling, folks. Don't go out and teach your kids how to do anything this way, but, you know, the rest of it was good. This is just me messing to kind of fiddle with this a little bit. Cut. Good to go. Delete all that. So this is going to wind up being covered with a thing. Let me undo that. I don't want to cut that, actually. I do want to round those off, though. So here we go. This is where it's going to make some more sense. I'm going to put a circle right here to where it comes to the outside edge of this guy, like that. Then I'm going to grab it and I'm going to move it based on this line until it's basically inside of that one, like that. And that one will work. So I'm going to take a line. I'm going to cut that in half. And we don't even have to cut it in half. We're going to, I can just take this piece, cut it with that circle, And then I can get rid of any extraneous parts. Why is this not cutting all the way through though? That's weird. All right, let's try this again. So where's my circle? There. Maybe it's just a hair too small. So scale it from the center. Let me see. Scale it. Can I center the pivot? Pivot. Bounding box. Fine. And then I can... that circle, we're going to take this dude, cut it with that circle, I hope. I don't know that it doesn't appear to be working. I mean, it worked, but it didn't cut all the way through. All right, so we will have to make it slightly bigger because of the angle, probably. But the way I can go about that, too, probably, is to make a temporary construction plane of that piece here to where it's perfectly on that piece. You could probably see that it's off. Let's just make it a little larger. So I'm just going to scale it up like a hair, even maybe a little more than a hair. I will not make the joke my dad used to. I will not. Okay, back here. And we're going to go cut using that. And now we should get a, complete parts to be removed. Yep. And then I can take the circle for now, get rid of that one. And take these two parts and put it back together. So this will go here, here, and one piece. Cool. And then we do the same thing to the other, because it's probably going to be easier than trying to reposition the one we just made. I'll hide this one for now. This one will be easier because it's on a flatter plane in general. The main construction plane. And we'll just create a circle right in the center again. This one should be a lot easier to do. So boom, like so. Grab it and move it somewhere toward the end like that. That one looks like it's going to work perfectly, so not a problem. Cut, grab the circle, right click, and done. Did that one work? Almost. I'm going to go ahead and go with it though, see if it works. So let's just grab these pieces, and I think we are good. Yep. So now we can take this, put them back together, and everybody's happy. Sort of. All right. And there we go. Let's turn on our other bits. Just going to grab pretty much everything and turn it back on. Do we have anything else that's off? Nope. All right. And so I'm going to put a bolt in between those. And this is as junky as the tricycle looks that I'm looking at right now. So I think it's kind of cool that it is so bad. In fact, if we wanted to, we could probably push these ends farther back or something, you know. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I don't like to overscrew with stuff, though, because then, you know, it just doesn't work well. Let's see if this one will push everything. Not going to worry about it, I don't think. It's probably okay. I've got those bevels in there already, so it kind of messes with everything. So let's go ahead and just do a bolt. I'm going to use a 6 pointed bolt here. So let me adjust my number. There we go. Something like, you know, a bit bigger, maybe like that. And then I'm going to undo that. I'm going to actually do it from the construction plane, so it is correctly placed. Grab the face, and then I can do it from here. Now it's going to be perfectly flat onto the surface. I'm going to make sure it's in center of both these slats. And it's still got my 6, which is cool. I got your 6, bro. And then from here, if I can, I need to grab this plane and this little piece, I guess. And we'll just pull those out. Cool. Get rid of the polygon. Get rid of the temporary construction plane. Go ahead and grab all the edges of this bolt. And then grab these. I'm not going to worry about making this a spherical topped bolt. I would just grab all this. Probably slight round it. Like I said, it is a kid's thing. Okay, and no one's going to tell. Yeah, they will. If somebody saw that from the side, you know how it goes. Let's just put a little cylinder in there. I'm not going to put threads. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. I almost George Bush that whole moment, which I actually did. And we're just going to go like that, and let's just make this cylinder cover our butts, as they say. And now we're going to grab that plane, extrude it. So we have something there for the folks to not complain about. We'll go here, put those together. Not sure why that's not going together. I'm going to take that here and scale that out along this so that it has more of an embedded nature about it. And we're going to go ahead. One's a sheet, that's why. So that circle can go. That one is a sheet. That needs to be made solid. So Shift J makes it now a solid, and then we can join the two together. And we're good. Okay. Yeah, knowing these little techniques makes a huge difference because it saves you hours and hours of time if you get confused. All right, so now we can just do these edges of this. Hopefully it'll let me do these two at the same time, and it will not, so that's cool. Might play a little Cyberpunk today. I don't know if you guys know that game. I was able to get a copy of it. Haven't done much playing because I was doing the training and got a little frustrated. So as lame as that is, that's what happened. All right, so there we go. That's fine for the outsides. We're not going to wind up being so close to this. We're going to need those inside pieces. I don't even think we need little bolts. That's more of a support so it doesn't rattle and bounce around. Cool. So we need a S-curve pedal piece, which they will attach, perfectly to this whole section. So the pedals are going to be fun. We can just look at it from the front and figure this out. Also, I need to just realize carry these over to the other side. Have anything else? Is that all good except for, yeah, we need this cap as well. I think everything else is there. So we Alt-X all that stuff over, and not like that because we're on a temporary construction plane. We need to get rid of that first. Now we can Alt-X these things over using this plane. And let me just make sure it looks good. I think everything's good. Perfect. And now don't worry about that pedal. All right, so it's just going to be a post that comes out and down and curved, and then it ends real quick, and then there's a little collet or whatever, and then there's the pedal, and it's got a little thing on the outside of the thing, just like this nubby here. So cool. I just have to decide how big everything's going to be. And I think what I'll do first is just draw straight lines. So I'm going to come out here, here. And these don't need to be big. I'm just making them a little bigger to account for my, that probably should come down farther. To account for how thick they're going to be, we have to take that into account as well. Let's get this to the middle. So I'm going to come out a little farther. I'm going to go a lot more down, I think. If I have to, I can always take that back. So I think these are pretty long, you know what I mean? So let's just go like this. I think that's okay. And I'm going to wind up beveling this curve where those parts are rounded, you can see. And then we'll pipe it, I think. We could sweep a square and then round that, which is possibly the way it really is. I don't think these are perfectly round, but you know what? In this world, they are. This is an older tricycle. Yeah, that's how I get away with it. No, I think that looks great, actually. All right, that's perfect. Then we need a pedal. So we're going to go from the top. And instead of just a square, because they aren't just square, we're going to come out a little like so. I'm going to go slightly in like this and down slightly out like this for that outside bit. And something kind of like this. And you can make these match up by clicking, and then now I have a construction line I can go with there. So something like that. I'm going to grab this and snap it up to my center here. It will need a centerpiece as well. So let's just see what we can do here. I'm going to cut this down the center just to make sure it's perfectly, correct. We can just snap that to that. And that should be good. We could trim those up. Once it turns blue, the trimming can begin. I don't know how that relates to anything, but it almost sounded dirty. All right, so with that, let's go ahead. It's got a central piece where this part will run through. So I'm just going to make some lines to, where I know this needs to be sort of cut. So something like about here to here. This will go from about, these will be a little thinner at this point, to, I guess, about like that. We can actually mirror just this little line here. It's just pretty cool. So I can just go like this and then mirror it over the middle, or this particular line, like that. That didn't work. So let me undo that. That's not the one I wanted to do. I wanted to do this one. So Alt X F, and now we can mirror this across like that. Pretty cool. And I'm going to do another line just to get the outside of this, something like that. Perfect. And what these are going to be is kind of like cutting lines. So let's grab all of these. I'm going to grab those and snap these up to these. We can trim everything. So it's a little tedious sometimes, but totally necessary. And so this is just like the base shape. And if you can bevel your lines now, that's cool. That's definitely good to do. So I'm going to try and do all of these corners. Let's switch over to my points mode. Just kind of grab all of them and hit B. And now we can round all these. Well, it's not letting me round all of them, is it? So we need to join the curves to be able to do that, evidently. So we're just going to J that. It's not letting me join those for whatever reason, probably because something is not 100% trimmed. Yep, that guy right there. So we're just going to grab that bit. It's amazing, isn't it, how you can miss something that small. It was hiding inside that pipe. Okay, so with curves now, I'm going to grab this and join those, which I think they did. Grab these and join all these. It also cleans up your window over here. I'm going to grab these and these, I hope, and hit B. And we're going to bevel all these round. But you know what? We can't do the ones on the inside now that I think about it. So let me grab just these, this, and this. And we can grab these, but not those inside corners, because those are going to have to go straight across to the other side. So bevel like that. Cool. For now, we'll just make a base object that, you know, it's essentially our pedal. I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker. I'm going to grab it and move it down to centrally snap it to that guy. And get rid of our curves. And then I'm going to take that object and mirror it over across this pipe. So we can just Alt X and then hit F to freehand where that is going to come from. And it's a little thick in the middle, but we can fix that as well. So leaving these as two halves. You know what? I'm going to delete that one we just did. I'm going to take this and then push it inward a little bit. So now it'll be a little thinner in the middle. So now let's Alt X, F to freehand where that placement is. And now we can put that together with the halves merge, right click to accept, and we're good. And I'm going to do a little bit of a chamfer, I think, on these edges here. It'll probably do it on all of them, but if not, this will be okay. Just kind of push it. Yeah, that's fine. And it just helps me get a better kind of overall look there. I typically don't do any rounding there. These can be filleted. Just you only have to do one corner of top and bottom like this, because when you fillet it, it'll have to continue all the way around. If you're really concerned about any of this, of course, we can always round this one a little too. Just catch the light. And there you go. We just now need a little ending for here and the beginning, I guess, of it too for that. I think I'm going to make that pedal just slightly thicker. I don't know what I would do. Now I'm starting to talk out loud. Weird. I don't know why I'm saying my thoughts out loud. There must be something going on. Okay, so here and there. And I'm going to round that edge down like this. Cool. That's good enough for that. And then I'm going to get rid of that curve. If we wanted to, we could chamfer that edge just so it makes it a little on purpose, which it is, but you know. And then I'm going to duplicate that disc right here, and not even duplicate. I'm going to Alt X, and I'm going to mirror this across the pedal. So we're going to hit F, find the center of the pedal, and do that. Let's move around so it snaps to the right spot. We don't need anything running in the middle because we're never going to see it if it is. And then I'm going to leave those as separate pieces. Now we probably should put our little reflectors around this. This is pretty simple to do. I'm just going to grab probably a central rectangle, go to the middle, pull this to about, well, maybe here. And then we'll do a Boolean. I just grab this surface, go W, hit the pedal, pull this back into it, however far it needs to be, right click, and you're done. And then I'm going to take the pedal. Well, let me before I do that, I'm going to spice this up a little bit. I'm going to take these inside corners here, and I'm going to do this with them. And if we wanted to, we grab them and smooth that turn just a little bit. And then if we want, we can select this and pull that in. And then we can take this one, and we could smooth those slightly. So this is going to be our reflector surface. I'm going to do these on the sides here too, probably. So very easily now, let's do the same thing. Find the center of this face. Do something approximately the same size as the ones on the side. I'm going to grab this and pull it out just a little bit so we don't get any subdural bullianatomas. I have no idea what I meant by that. And we're going to grab here. We're going to W. We're going to hit that. We're going to go in and remove it from here. I think that will be fine if it's straight on because I think it still looks kind of futuristic. And I'm going to go with the, let's get rid of that rectangle. So I'm not going to be going here much longer. I will do the rest of this in a second video probably, just to let you guys know. But I'm going to finish this pedal up for sure. Pull this like so. Can do the exact same things we did to the other one by grabbing these and rounding those slightly. Then we'll grab this. We'll push that here. And then we can grab this and do a slight round on those. Cool. So now you're wondering, well, what's it going to do for all the other ones? Well, just easily mirror the dang pedal against itself 4 times. So with the pedal selected now, it's all one piece. So we Alt X F this way. Make sure it melds with itself. So we have that this way, and then we can front to back do the same thing. Alt X F, and we do it. Hang on. Sometimes it's hard to find the alignment for it. Don't know why, but for me it is. Like something here. Come on, Sean, you can do it. Is that it? Is that it? I believe that is it. Nope, that's still off a little. Let's undo that one. I'm just going to go from the top. This will make it easy. Oh, no, I guess it wasn't, huh? It was because of whatever I did to begin with. There we go. So let's figure out what's going on with that front to back. That's why. So let's just go from here. We'll front to back it this way. Alt X, F. We'll go from here. Boop. And make sure that's correct, which it's not. We need to go the other way. So from the top again, Alt X. It's very hard to tell from the top is the only problem. It just gets the precision movement though. So that one's right. We need to meld those together. And boom. And then we can do the top to bottom version. So Alt X, F, middle. See if that's right. It is not. So we'll do it again. Alt X, F, middle. And there we go. Good. Done. And we can make those one part and everybody's happy. Whew, that only took 42 years. And I'm going to do a little circle, I think, a little kind of button rivet type thing right in the center of that pedal. So it looks a little like it needs something that holds it together. I'm sure in my bicycle days, that's where that memory is coming from. So let's go to the edge mode, which is 2. We'll select our edge. Boolean, not Boolean. We will fillet that out this way like so. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead. I'm probably not going to put it on the pedal part, but I'm going to see if I can put these guys together. It probably won't put that one in that same group. Yeah, because it's not attached. But I think overall that's pretty good. This and this could be definitely put together. So we'll put those together. They're the same material as well. We'll worry about the material of the reflectors later, but I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to take this whole piece now. Let's get rid of this one. We're going to take this and this and this and this. And now that I think about it, this and this could be put together. Are they too far apart? That is possible. No, those go together. Let's get rid of our circle. And then I'm going to take all the things from this side and exit over the other. So Alt-X, here to there, right-click, and we're good. Now, if you notice, you can't ride a bike like that. So I'm going to take this piece and rotate that 100 degrees, 180. So we're going to go here. We're going to take our V where this center should be. It should be there. I'm going to go up here and put in 180. It should wind up perfect. As far as I can tell, it is. So it's a lot like a unicycle I made once here in Plasticity. But yeah, looks great. I think for the moment, this is great. This is essentially half of the unit. So let's move on. I think it's great. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will be back for the rest of this at some point soon. All right. Talk to you later. Have a good one. Good.